Hey everyone, welcome back to Bravely Default. Last time, we helped out the Shield Bearers in Eisenberg's civil war once again, reawakened the Fire Crystal, and so stopped the eruption of Mount Karka. Today, we're flying off to Eternia once again to handle the Council of Six, and again awaken the Earth Crystal. But of course, as usual, we have new enemies to go over. So, in the Eternia region, as well as inside Eternia's Central Command, you can find Ice Golems, which while originally a boss we encountered when first entering Eternia, is now a common enemy, and they fight in the same way as before. They use Freezing Punch and Blizzard Blast, the former of which can inflict stop on whoever it hits, while Blizzard Blast simply hits the whole party. Blizzard Blast is also a genome you can learn as the Vampire. They also drop Turbo Ethers when defeated, so they can be worth fighting. There's also the Frosty, who uses white magic to cast Curata on its allies, as well as Reflect, and uses Holy on your party to deal light damage. You can steal Turbo Ethers from this guy, but since the Ice Golem drops them in the same area, it may not be worth your time to steal them. The Samurai Zombie from the Eisen region appears here as well, still using Rash Slash to increase their damage, while decreasing their defense. And lastly, the Ice Dagon, who can use Icy Breath to hit the whole party and inflict stop. Over in Everlast Tower, some new enemies have appeared, and two of them have genomes to learn. These are the Mega Skullite, which has Rock Storm, an earth attack that hits all enemies, and the Kaiser Cobra with Toxic Whirl, an attack that deals times 0.75 damage, but has a 50% chance to poison every target. Very effective when combined with Arcanist's Exterminate ability. And again, both of those, the Rock Storm and the Toxic Whirl, are genomes you can learn as Vampire. There's also the... Jesus, this is actually the name of the enemy. The Black Pudding, which uses dark magic and can inflict blind on individuals. Besides 4 that we can get from some of the Nemesis in Narende that I am opting not to get here, that is all but one genome. I say all but one because we did actually miss one in Chapter 4. Earthquake from the Soil Eater in Eisen. We can still get this later, and if you're by chance following along, it's too late for you to get it, but we can get it later, so it's not really a big deal, nothing to worry about. If you're interested, though, in those 4 genomes from Narende, those are from Belphegor, Fireraja, Thundaja, and Blizzaja. Thundaja is also available from Asmodeus, and Blizzaja available from Mammon. Lastly, Erosia can be obtained from Lucifer. Again, I'm opting not to get them. We honestly don't need them, and I'd rather not make use of not only spells that are so overpowered, but also spells that not every person may be able to obtain, at least not easily, because it's all through Street Pass mainly. You might notice I also made no mention of Vampire Castle, and that is because the enemies to be found there remain the same as the enemies we encountered in Chapter 4, so everything I said there essentially still applies here, though the Hellfire genome can be obtained from Cerberus if you forgot to get it from Orthros. In the armory in Eternia, we can now buy Divine Fists, not a new set of gauntlets, but still a good one, they deal light damage, and we can also buy the Courage Ring, which gives immunity to Dread when equipped. While we're in Eternia, there's also this man on its eastern side who has a story for us about the 2 heroes of Eternia.
Do you know the story of the 2 heroes of the Duchy of Eternia? It goes without saying that the first is Brave the Templar, Grand Marshal of the Eternian forces. The second is the Swordmaster, Nobutsuna Kami-Izumi, greatest swordsman in the land of immortality. We are blessed to have not one, but 2 great heroes in a single generation. You are the Templar's daughter, young lady? And you are a disciple of the Swordmaster? Well, I never. Still, I'll wager you haven't heard the story of the one true love of the Templar and the Swordmaster. All those my age know the tale. Ask me anything. Before he became a Templar, Brave Lee was a talented young student of the Orthodoxy from a rural village. His counterpart, the Swordmaster Nobutsuna Kami-Izumi, was a top young swordsman at the city training hall. The 2 met here in the city and became fast friends as they trained together, honing both mind and sword arm. One day, the Templar returned to his home village, accompanied by his friend, the Swordmaster. However, when they returned to the city, it was clear there had been a falling out between them. Both refused to speak of it. They also all but ceased training together in the way of the sword. Word spread among the townspeople. We all had wondered what had happened between them. When the Templar later brought his betrothed from his home village to the city, the rumors started. Had the Swordmaster and the Templar become rivals over this beautiful young girl? The Templar became a bishop of the Orthodoxy at a young age, while the Swordmaster stayed as assistant instructor at the training hall. The year before the Great Plague, the two who had avoided each other so long suddenly engaged in a duel on the city outskirts. They fought for 3 days and nights in a constant flurry of sword blows, their clashing blades ringing throughout the city. At my best guess, the Swordmaster won by a narrow margin. In the end, it took a score of the Orthodoxy soldiers to stop the fighting. There is no doubt in my mind that the two of them fought day and night over the enchanting Mazur. It was an epic battle for all involved. Afterwards, both were disciplined for taking part in the unsanctioned duel. The Swordmaster visited Mazur alone. Soon after returning to the city, he set off on a journey to train in the art of war. Not long after, the Templar traveled to his village and brought his betrothed back with him. We all thought the Swordmaster had confessed his love and been spurned, leaving him broken-hearted. The duel was most likely a deadly struggle to see who would have the chance to declare their love first. Then the Great Plague descended. Amid the chaos, the Templar and Mazur were joined in marriage. I cannot recall how many years it was before the Swordmaster returned. He took part in the Templars' uprising that followed. Who can say what was in his heart at the time? It is beyond the comprehension of simple folks such as I.
A special order. The friendship between the Grand Marshal and Swordmaster. What a heartwarming tale. I had no idea. My father and Swordmaster Nobutsuna never spoke a word of it. I don't think they ever would. Even I can figure that much out. Well, heartwarming tales are fine and all, but the rest of me is freezing. India, what's good to eat in this town? Hopefully it's something piping hot. At this hour, you'll have to make do with food carts. How about that over there? Beef stew and citrus stew. How is the stew around here anyway? Well, the Eternian version probably isn't what you'd expect. We skewer daikon radish before cooking them in a special stock till they're tender. Then we dip them in beef or citrus sauces before eating them. I've never heard of such a dish before. It warms my body just thinking about it. Well, what are we waiting for? I'll have the beef stew. Me too. I think I will try the citrus stew. Why am I not surprised? And do you ring a bell? Oh, me? I'll take it clean and spicy. Clean and spicy? Right, hold the sauce, add mustard. The stock is already so flavorful, it's perfect with just that. How could you possibly know that? You haven't eaten it before, have you? Nope, this will be my first... that is strange. How did I know that? You probably read in that journal or heard it from one of your lady friends. Come on, let's hurry up and eat before it gets cold. Let's eat! Right.
You showed skill making it to our central command, Windvestal. But unfortunately for you, you won't get any further if I can help it. I'll have you know I'm in top form today. Now you'll see just how helpless you are before me.
I bid you, Victoria, unleash your full power. Spare nothing.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I'll have my fun, then close in for the kill. Flee if you can, wretches. Off you go! Why so quiet? Teeth chattering too much? How ungainly.
Enough! You'll only hurt yourself at this rate.
You finally speak and it's out of concern for me. You need to learn your place, sniveling worms.
It happened! Victoria!
Victor, I can't breathe.
Last year's grown more unstable than I had feared. We must seek treatment at once!
Victor.
Silence, if you please. She would likely perish if we were to disturb her now.
It's happening again.
Again? What do you mean?
Oh, I was just thinking out loud.
Allow me to tell you a story, if I may. Once upon a time, in a place not of this land, there was an orphan child suffering an incurable disease. Her name was Victoria. Though still a child, she was abhorred by those around her due to her affliction, as the Orthodoxy cast her aside.
Huh? The Orthodoxy?
She was taken in and raised by the Orthodoxy soon after her birth.
This is new.
She simply waited upon her inevitable demise, all the while gasping in pain and despair. Then, a chance meeting changed her life. On death's door and abandoned, she was found by the Grand Marshal, who wandered the lands after renouncing the Orthodoxy himself. He took her to Juliana, nursed her to health, then brought her to this realm for treatment.
My father did this?
How can you not know, as his daughter?
He never spoke a word of this.
Were it not for his lordship, her fragile life would have soon been snuffed out. I was pulled from my studies on the Earth Crystal to treat her. With the help of my father, who studied the amplification of white magic, she survived. But the treatment was not yet perfected, and she was left with terrible side effects. She suffers from periodic fits, which cause her body to writhe in pain. Her dread of these fits eventually caused her to lose all control over her emotions. But perhaps the most significant side effect was the cessation of her physical growth. Since my father and I began her treatment here, she has always had the childlike form you see.
If she is in such pain, how can you force her to use her powers?
I do not need you to tell me that. After the death of my father, I took over his research and have poured my heart into healing her body. But I could not relieve her agony, no matter how I tried. Each time her tiny form is racked with pain, I ask myself, knowing the result, would I still have intervened as I did? But ever is my answer the same. As long as I draw breath, I will see that she does too. No matter how she suffers, I'll not allow her to die. She is both my crime and my redemption, my ego, my joy. I dedicate my entirety to her, and know no greater pleasure.
What nonsense. I mean, really, Victor, that was so boring and really long, too.
Forgive me, Victoria. How do you fare now?
Back to my old self, but I don't think I could take another one of those fits. Now, let's take care of these fools once and for all. Stop it! What is the point of us fighting? The point, you ask? Because you disgust me, Eternia. What? That is reason enough to fight, no. I wish to see your corpses flayed before me, fools!
The fight with Victoria and Victor is basically the same. Victor still uses Fairy's Aid to raise their elemental attack damage and Holy to deal light damage, and will heal when either's health is low. Victoria will cast Doom on your whole party to have them die in 5 turns, use Dark Magic and try to poison the entire party, and then use Annihilate to damage anyone who's been poisoned. Bring poison resistance as well as equip everyone with Dark Shields to weather Victoria's magic, and then all you have to worry about is Doom. But if you have Re-Raise from Time Magic level 6, you just cast that, and if someone is inflicted with it, they'll automatically be brought back when they die from it. Then you're just a heal and a recast away from being in a good spot again.
I am sorry, Victoria.
Nonsense! Open your eyes, Victor! I will not permit you to die before me! With Victor gone, my treatment will stop. The next fit I have will be my last. So, with the short time I have left, I'd like nothing more than to crush you all! Victor, do not leave me alone. Father.
So you have come then. This is the Wind Vestal, I take it? Younger than I expected.
I am indeed, Agnes Oblige, the Wind Vestal. I did not expect to face you again like this.
Again, you say?
It does not matter. I do not intend to go against all the ideals you hold. But your hatred of the Crystal Orthodoxy and oppression of Crystallists, I cannot forgive. Why do you use force against them? Was discussion not an option? Do your ideals include spreading the flames of war, causing many innocent people to suffer?
You did what you did to save Mother, right?
Enough, Eternia! You clearly do not understand my motives.
I don't?
I lost faith in the Orthodoxy 20 years ago. The same year that the Great Plague swept through all of Luxembourg. The plague made its fury felt even here in Eternia, and many people died. But there was a way to stop it. By using the Earth Crystal to amplify the effects of white magic, the plague could have been eliminated. But my pleas to use this option fell on deaf ears time after time. Instead, the Orthodoxy sealed off the roads, letting the plague decimate village after village. They claim to be our savior, yet leave people to die by the thousands just to save themselves.
So you took action, Father?
But the corruption of the Orthodoxy is trivial compared to the great secret of the crystals.
Secret?
When I left the Orthodoxy and met the sage in Ilyana, I was taught the secret of the crystals. If misused, the crystals could bring about the end of the world.
What? What are you talking about? The crystals are the light of humanity delivered through the prayers of the vessels through the ages.
You are not wrong. But that is merely one facet of the crystals, Wind Vestal. I could not entrust crystals with the power to end all existence to the Orthodoxy, whose only interest is self-preservation. Then, my worst fears came true. 15 years ago, the leaders of the Orthodoxy attempted the Grand Ritual for the sole purpose of enhancing their prestige.
The Grand Ritual? Surely not. The Orthodoxy would never use the power of the crystals in such a selfish manner.
Our reports suggested the Earth Crystal was extremely unstable by that point. If the Grand Ritual were conducted, Eternia could have faced destruction.
So you attacked the headquarters of the Orthodoxy and the Temple of Earth to stop this grand ritual, Father?
However, we were too late. By the time we got there, the grand ritual was already underway. Because of this, the Earth Crystal has been leaking power for the past 15 years.
So you prevented a crisis by tapping its power for the medical arts.
You finally understand. There may have been another way, I admit. But my feelings for my hometown and wife likely spurred me toward this solution. Wind Vestal, your awakening of the crystals may have edged us toward the heroine.
You have it wrong! We awakened the crystals to save the world from the harrowing!
That is merely the Orthodoxy's view. I do not know what deceit lies behind it. I cannot allow those who act without proper understanding to tamper with the crystals. I won't waste my breath discussing it further.
Father!
Brave is the same, defaults a lot, you want being pierced default from the Valkyrie, so I have to deal with that. Uses Radiant Blast to deal light damage, Heart Strike to deal crit, and Giant Slayer when low on health to deal more damage to those with more HP than him. At this point, he'll also start to Brave more often.
Brave!
Mother!
So, you have come.
I'm sorry, Brave. This is all my fault.
Do not be absurd. This is hardly your doing.
Brave.
Wind Vestal, with these wounds, I shall never wield a blade again. I entrust the crystal to the Vestal. I have said my piece. Now it is for the Vestal to decide. I trust you will make the right decision. Do not summon the Pillar of Light. You must not.
Brave!
It's okay. He has lost consciousness, but swift treatment should save his life.
You look calm, Medea. It's as if you've grown up all at once. I do not blame you, you know. You must follow the path you believe is right, just as your father has done. Wind Vestal,
Yes.
you are not bound by the words of my husband. But do not discount them either. You are the last surviving Vestal. You are the hope that guides our people. Do not follow one belief blindly. Hear what others have to say before making your decision.
I will take your words to heart.
Thank you. You should go then.
Look after Father, Mother.
I will, of course.
Before awakening the Earth Crystal once again, let's head over to Vampire Castle, and thankfully, we don't have to go and kill the 6 dragons around the world and get the 6 keystones again. We can simply enter the castle. I should mention though that at any point during Chapter 5, you can go to those monuments and fight the dragons again if you so wish, to get some bonus EXP and JP. As we climb Vampire Castle, the cutscenes are somewhat different, accounting for the fact that we actually have been through here before, and heard DeRosa's story.
Just as cold as before.
It is the same portrait as before, and just as big.
Right. And what a beauty his mother was. same description, too. Lester, eldest son of the House of De Rosso, future clergyman of the Crystal Adventists and cardinal of the Crystal Orthodoxy, born in the land of Eternia on a cold winter's day.
It seems a struggle between the old faith and the orthodoxy arose here in this world, too.
Never has a visitor spoken of matters of such import. 'Tis as if you have been to this castle before.
Lord De Rosso!
Ah, you know me then. You must be... Yes, I see. And it seems there is much you already know. Yes. Yes, I see.
Lord De Rosso's ordainment portrait.
From the old faith to the orthodoxy, an era of great change that sealed Lord De Rosso's fate.
The meaningless power struggle took place in this world as well, it appears.
You know much. How uncanny. Almost disturbing. Which is perhaps ironic coming from me.
Lord De Rosso!
I see. My fate has already...
Lord De Rosso's castle siege painting.
This is where his never-ending struggle began.
And his never-ending sorrow.
So, you feel pity for me? Well, I suppose stranger things have happened.
Lord De Rosso.
The question is, to what extent do you... No, let us leave that for another time.
Lord De Rosso's portrait of immortality.
Accept me, and I shall grant life everlasting. Though it shall be filled with grief, thou shalt have all eternity to wreak vengeance upon thine enemies. Who or what was talking to him, and why?
Even I know not, just as I know not how you came to know those words.
Lord De Rosso.
Accept me. Ah, yes. Eternal grief and eternal vengeance.
Lord De Rosso's war landscape.
A war that changed the very land we walk upon. I shudder when I think of the manner in which it was waged.
Care for a taste of my power? The power to fell mountains and tear the earth asunder.
Lord De Rosso!
Then again, you people might... Well, we would simply have to try it to find out what would happen. No?
Lord De Rosso's portrait of the Archbishop.
So Juliana was responsible for cutting off the Vestals and temples from the corrupt orthodoxy. But the description for this portrait only tells of the time he was hatching his plot.
Precisely. The actual events therein shall be told in other paintings.
Lord De Rosso.
Or perhaps you have already. Yes, 'tis in the realm of possibility for those such as you.
Lord De Rosso's asterisk painting.
There are asterisks in this world too. It seems the sage here in this world also wanted to reduce the orthodoxy's authority. I've always wondered what they were made of. They have such a warm, bewitching glow.
Truth be told, he never shared the secret of their making with me either.
Really? He kept the secret from you too?
The next time we meet, I shall have him explain it to me. I commend you for making it this far. The final painting lies beyond this throne. I shall reveal it to you if you defeat me in battle.
You're referring to the angel painting.
Precisely. You know much that has yet to happen, my friends. The last test is a test of strength. I shall only reveal the painting to those whom I deem worthy. One might also say that there is no need for those who are unworthy to lay their eyes upon it. But be forewarned, I am a formidable foe. I trust you are well prepared.
The rest of the fight is somewhat different, but not significantly so. He still uses energy burst to hit every party member, though it's worth mentioning that if you missed this genome from the Chogmar fight, you can get it here. He's now equipped with Spirit Crush as well, which is essentially a stronger version of Energy Burst. There's also Bone Crush to do current missing HP and damage, another genome you can get here if you didn't get it over in the Eisen region, although you could always just go back to get that. And lastly, Graviga takes 75% of health away from whoever it hits. Rampart is still incredibly helpful here to stop attacks from hitting the party, as well as anything that deals light damage to take down DeRosso faster.
How can this be? The immortal Lester DeRosso has been defeated? I am a man of my word. Behold the final painting.
Lord DeRosso's angel painting.
It's as he said. She looks just like Agnes.
You can say that again.
Yes, they could be twins.
Is there really such a resemblance?
Did I speak thus in the previous world?
Oh, Lord DeRosso. I don't recall if you truly said that.
I seem to recall he did. At least I think.
Well, no matter. The truth is, there is a striking resemblance.
Look!
This crystal has also reverted.
Should we perform the Rite of Awakening?
I think so.
Wait, something lurks nearby.
That's Gigas Lich, the propagator of doom!
Another creature back from destruction.
Here they come!
Gigas Lich, the only crystal boss who is essentially completely worthless as a refight since it doesn't even have a genome for us to learn. The same strategy applies here, use light magic or healing spells against it as it is undead, cast a spell every so often to lower its stats, bring safety charms for some death immunity, and you should be able to awaken the Earth Crystal once again, no problem.
Hurry up and awaken the crystal before we are beset by more beasts!
Of course.
Not yet! Just a little longer! More! Keep going! Still not enough! You can do this! Stop! That's it! You did it! You awakened the crystal! That's all 4 of them now!
What is this light? The holy pillar?
It must be! Let us head there again, Agnes! This time, we must ensure we seal the Great Chasm and cleanse evil from the world!
Yes, I know. We cannot fail again.
The light is blinding.
It is rather overwhelming.
So we must enter the light again, it seems.
It almost stings the skin, don't you think?
Yes, I feel the same.
Grin and bear it! We must succeed this time! Okay, I need to start meditating so I can focus. Don't bother me till I'm done. I'll make sure all goes to plan this time. A wondrous and beautiful first light! My brooch awaits your divine radiance! Aerie is really giving it her all.
She may feel responsible for things going awry last time.
Can you make some notes in your journal, ring a bell?
All right, I'll jot down anything that seems important. But I'm not sure how much I can do. Besides the piloting, there is one other problem. Yes, we'll have him to deal with when he comes.
You mean we have to go through that again?
Let us head to the deck. Alternis!
Where is she?
Who do you mean?
Where is that peculiar fairy?
You mean Aerie? Aerie? But why?
Tell me where she is, now!
Just what do you intend to do to her?
Slay her, of course. Once she is gone, this will end.
Do not try to stop us.
How could you betray the Grand Marshal? Your own father! Can you not see the grief you have caused?
It is always the same with you. You never listen to me. You and my father have done nothing but stand in my way. When you shattered the Sky Stone on the Echelon, when we entered the Eternian Central Command, you hindered us at every step. How can I understand without a word of explanation? For mercy's sake, tell us the whole story!
You.
Alternis?
Who are you?
What?
You are not Edea.
I don't...
Oh, it's shaking!
You are all trying to deceive me. Stand aside, cowardly fools, or your blood shall soak this dark blade.
Alternis' fight, as you've likely come to expect by now, is the same, but now you can make it even easier by equipping Dark Shields to make his Dark Bane and Black Bane attacks do nothing but drain his health. Minor Strike is still a threat when he's low on health, but if you're able to get your health above 9,999 through your job and ability setup combined with Giant Drafts, you can get around that, or you can cast Re-Raise from Time Magic level 6, so that even if someone is killed with Minor Strike, they'll immediately come back.
Do you know that fairy's true objective? She intends to let the power of the crystals run wild. You have all fallen for her ruse. That includes you, Winged Vestal. Awakening the crystals will not save the world. On the contrary, it shall bring the world to ruin. I heard this from the Grand Marshal himself. Our true enemy is not the Wind Vestal, but the Christ Fairy.
But it is written in the scriptures. Christ fairies guide the vessels from the path of danger. They are the embodiment of the crystal's light.
Clearly deceptions fabricated by the Orthodoxy.
Alternis.
You... Why?
Alternis!
Ring a bell! Hey! Ring a bell!
Are you all right? You just keeled over. We were worried.
The ship is pitching deep. Can you take the wheel, Ring a bell?
Yes, I'm fine.
Then let's hurry back to the bridge.
My memory seems to have returned. Ah, I see now. All is clear.
Hold on to something, everyone! Ring a bell!
I'm trying. She won't come around.
This has to work!